Hey, good morning, class. Welcome in. We're going to have our last discussion on Chapter 6 here, which is our third unit. We have taken a look at reasons to save and why we save and the different types of savings accounts we can have. We've taken a look at the stock market. We've taken a look at stocks and bonds. Well, now we're going to take a look at what we call special savings plans and goals. So we're looking at retirement plans and really kind of managing our money. So we're going to take a look at that and how to invest and how to plan for the future. So let's dive into this. This will be our last discussion. We're going to have a journal log that's going to follow up. We'll work on our test prep later on this week, and we're going to conclude our stock report. So excited to see what you have, and hopefully you made some money, per se. All right, here we go. So investing for retirement. Now, although most people are eligible for Social Security, when they retire, this plan does not provide enough income to live comfortably, okay? It's important for a person to save or invest in his or her own retirement. So, I'm early 30s, and right now, again, my goal is to hopefully retire by 60. So I want to think about the next 3 decades, all right? And that's the goal, being able to retire comfortably and not necessarily having to work when you're into your late 60s and 70s, okay? Now, many individuals have company-supported pension plans. All right, pension plans provide retirement income for individuals. One of the most common pension plans, you may have heard of it, is the 401k. So a 401k is where a portion of your paycheck is withheld, and the company matches the amount and invests in stocks and bonds. You do not have to pay federal income on it until you withdraw for retirement. So when you tap into the 401k upon retirement, that's when the taxes will kick in. Also, it's important to not exceed a certain amount when depositing. So again, you want to make sure that your deposit amounts are level. All right, 401k is a great plan, and it's something that's going to be beneficial down the road. And this is, again, one of the more common ones that we see. Now, we also have individual pension plans. So the Keogh plan, all right, is a retirement plan that allows self-employed individuals to save a maximum of 25% of their income up to a specified amount each year, and to deduct that amount from their yearly taxable income. So what does the Keogh plan do? Well, it helps out people that have created their own businesses, their own startups, their own small businesses, and essentially this is the route that you want to take if you are your own entrepreneur, okay? Now, here are two very important individual pension plans. So we have, first is an IRA. So this is an individual retirement account. All right, it's a private retirement plan that allows individuals or married couples to save a certain amount of untaxed earnings per year with interest being tax deferred. All right, you pay the tax once you take out the funds around the age of 59. Okay, so that is the IRA. Now, on the flip side of that coin, we have what we call a Roth IRA. This is a private retirement plan that taxes income before it is saved, but it does not tax interest out on that income when funds are based upon retirement. So, IRA takes funds out around the age of 59. A Roth IRA kind of takes out funds along the way, but there's no tax interests once you hit retirement age, okay? Now, real estate. Now, this is where, again, for many, many years, decades, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, people really got into the real estate market. Buying real estate, such as land and buildings, is another form of investing. All right, for the past 50 years or so, buying a home, condominium, or a co-op has proven to be a wise investment. Resale values soared during the mid-2000s, all right, until the housing market crash of 2008. Okay, this is where essentially a lot of people were starting to purchase homes that they couldn't afford. They couldn't pay their mortgages. And lo and behold, the banks essentially felt, everyone's going to pay back their mortgages, nothing's going to be wrong. Well, it collapsed, okay? Now, although the housing market fluctuates, buying a home is generally considered a better investment than, say, buying a plot of undeveloped land, okay? Even in today's market, okay, buying a home is more of a safe bet than undeveloped land because you don't know what's going to potentially happen with that land. Now, real estate is not very easy to turn into cash on a short notice, all right? Sometimes homes and property will stay on the market for a very, very long time. Thus, real estate in general carries notable risks. So not only are we still stemming from the housing market collapse of 2008, but in general, putting a house on the market can be a tough sale. Some of you folks may realize that. Some of you may have tried to sell a home in the last 4 or 5 years and have found some hardship there where it's not easy to sell a house. So again, with this market right now, with the housing market, we will see what happens, and we'll see what happens post-pandemic. There are some that speculate that another housing market bubble could occur, and that could be problematic. Okay, so keep in mind, again, real estate, for all its benefits, can be very risky as well. Okay, so thinking about how much to save and invest. All right, saving involves trade-offs. All right, the more you save today, the more you'll be able to buy and consume later on. However, saving will affect the amount that you do spend today. So again, if I'm allocating too much of my paycheck toward savings and I'm not leaving enough for my checking account, then that means I'm going to have a hard time withdrawing funds, okay, as the sun is peeking through. All right, now, having debt, all right, especially on credit cards, we're going to talk more about that later on this year, should be paid off before you dip into saving money. So if you are in debt, if it's student loans, if it's credit card debt, if it's debt on other things, if you took a loan out online, you want to make sure that you have that paid off before you get into saving money for the future. The safer you are with investments, the better your chances your savings will be stable. All right, the more risks you take, the chances of stable returns become uncertain. Common sense, all right? If you're playing it safe, things should be relatively okay. If you're taking risks left and right, that's going to be unstable and uncertain. Now, from top to bottom, our risk and returns rankings, okay? From high to low, here are risks and rewards associated with our investments. So, number one, riskiest would be stocks. It's like going to the casino. There's a lot of uncertainty there. You can win out and payoff can be huge, but you can also lose everything, okay? Right underneath stocks, we would probably say bonds, okay? Then we have stock-based mutual funds, bond-based mutual funds, CDs, our certificates of deposit, and then a savings account is by far the easiest and safest on the risk factor. So from high to low, we go from stocks all the way down to the savings account, okay? Okay, lastly, to kind of wrap up our unit here, okay, diversification. So investing your saving in several different types of accounts lowers your overall risks, okay? Oh my gosh, that is insane. Hold on. Here we go. Financial planners use this term called diversification when describing people who spread out their investments. So here is, again, more common sense, but just some food for thought. Lower income. If you are still in college and you don't have that big-time job yet, place savings in insured accounts at the local banks. Okay, start there. All right, don't want to get into the stock market necessarily. You don't want to get into these high-risk investments if you don't have the money. Okay, now if you have a lot of income, if you are making bank and you're doing really well, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, things are going well, then you can diversify your portfolio a little bit. You can start diversifying into stocks, into bonds, into mutual funds. Okay, you can become more flexible, and of course, you can try to grow your money and see how much you have. Now, values. Some people may want to invest to help their communities. All right, again, some people are going to be more about other people than themselves. So they might have a lot of money, but they want to contribute. They want to help. So you start pumping that money back into the community, into your local agencies, things that you find beneficial. Others are going to invest and take major gambles, and they're going to try to increase personal wealth. I mean, that's how it is. We look at capitalism. Greed is one of the driving factors. So if you do have a lot of wealth, a lot of people will try to earn more of it, and they'll try to do it through diversification, through stocks, through bonds, any way they can to find more money. Okay? All right, so we're going to have a quick journal log that's going to go along with this. We're going to work on finishing up our stock reports, and we're going to have some test prep. It's going to be a short chapter, which we've already finished, and we'll start looking at the road to the test for savings investing. All right? Thanks a lot, folks. Take care, and I will see you next time.